Hello, this is Denise, and this is the Earth Angel Goddess channel, where we are all discussing topics related to moving humanity forward. Today we're going to talk about, this is a big one, how to handle betrayal. Now, betrayal comes in many forms and can be little betrayals or big betrayals. Either way, it's fairly traumatizing, okay? Sometimes people are betrayed by their own family and their own friends. It can be starting from when they were small to maybe happening as various occurrences throughout their life in their relationships with their family and friends. But either way, it can be very traumatizing and hard to handle. So let's give an example of, like, I don't know, something like a spouse that is unfaithful to their other spouse, okay? Don't get started on genders. I don't care if it's two guys, two girls, or a husband and a wife that are married. But somebody's cheating on somebody, okay? And the person that is being betrayed often senses that there's something wrong and something happening behind the scenes that they're just not aware of, but their gut is telling them that something isn't going right. And when the person that is the suspicious partner is looking at the other partner, well, the person that's suspicious of what the other partner is doing, they often maybe will ask questions of the partner that is actually betraying them, and that partner is answering, well, basically lying, okay? And they are giving excuses as to why they're working late, or they are spending more time over at their friend's house, which, you know, could be a different person altogether that they're saying they're at, that, you know, at home that they're at, but they're really spending time with the person they're spending inappropriate time with, okay? So the person that's being betrayed there are signs that are showing them that their partner, the betrayer, is doing, yes, what they are thinking, okay? So the person that's being betrayed will probably start to investigate and pay attention and look for things to confirm or deny, rule in or rule out what they are thinking. Because if they go to the person that is doing the betrayal, right, they're going to fib, probably. They're going to gaslight. They're going to deny. They're going to give non-answers. Sometimes just giving a neutral answer is your answer, by the way. If people don't answer questions in a direct yes or no, that is your answer, okay? Meaning they're doing what you're thinking they're doing. So I've done this work a long, long time, and I'm giving this example of betrayal by one partner towards the other and one cheating on the other. But betrayals can come in many forms, okay? So you can have family or friends that work behind the scenes to do something fairly egregious and not let the target know anything, and they think they're either protecting, or they think they know better, or they think they are superior. Because really, when people are keeping secrets from the target that they are thinking that they're quote unquote protecting, they are really operating in a place of enjoying the secrecy, enjoying being a double agent or something, and they think that they're manipulating the target when they are not. They are being clocked the whole time. So they, frankly, are getting off on fooling the target when they were not fooling the target in the very slightest. Okay, so the betrayed has to operate in a way where they are non-reactive, non-emotional. They can ask questions periodically, but a great deal of it is observation. Observation, observation, observation. And I would suggest, if you feel like you are one of these individuals, documenting date time, place, location, what people were wearing, what people were driving, what makes and models of their cars, who they were with, all that kind of stuff. Keep a running log of these kind of things. If you feel this is a huge betrayal, by the way. If it's a smaller betrayal, observe for a while. Keep your emotions neutral. Pay attention. Again, if you ask a yes or no, a question that should be a yes or no, and they don't say yes or they don't say no, they say, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. There's your answer. If that answer is, yeah, they're involved. Okay. So these things are tells, clues, and evidence to follow to get to the right answer to what is essentially kind of a mystery, right? So if you're being betrayed and you have people that are the betrayers and they do not want to be honest with you for whatever reason, then you have to do your own super sleuthing, and you have to be very smart about it. Okay. Again, earlier I gave an example of a wife cheating on a husband, but it could be like literally just about anything, right? You get people trying to get by with, other things too. So, the way to heal from a betrayal is to, one, you do the super sleuthing, you get the facts, you get the evidence, and write it down. Write it down, because you might need it later for court or a divorce or a criminal situation, a civil situation, stuff like that. Or just plain to figure out if what you were feeling was correct. Okay. So having those facts and evidence written down will be very useful so that you can review that when a person is trying to gaslight or crazy make you and say, no, that didn't happen. That never happened. I didn't do that. Because they're going to do that, especially narcissists. They're really going to lie to you for sure. Anyway, so have it all written down. If you have to review it 6 times to get it through your thick skull that, yep, you were being betrayed, go ahead and do that. And then from there, you have to accept, there it is in black and white. They were betraying you. They were doing this. They were being, he, she, whatever, whoever, okay? It could be one person. It could be more than one person, whatever. It could be that your friend is banging your husband, whatever. Okay. I don't know. I'm not involved in any of that stuff. So I wouldn't, but that's an example. Okay. I'm trying to make a joke here because this being betrayed is horrible. So in whichever way it shows up. So, after you document, you review the evidence and you look at all this and you go, yep, this happened. Then you accept that the betrayal occurred. You accept the people that were involved in it. And then what you should do is you should pull back from everybody and watch how they behave. When you are silent and you are not doing anything wrong and you're being silent and you're just observing. Most of those people will, or all of them, will give you the tells, and they will tell on themselves in various ways. Massive ways. Because when someone goes silent and lets people do their thing, it's amazing that everything you did in your silence and your isolation and hanging out by yourself and letting these people do, or whoever this is, do what they're going to do, they trip themselves up, they tell on themselves, and they implicate themselves, okay? Now, once you know what the betrayal was, and that it really happened, who the players were, and you watch them fumble and tell on themselves, then you have a choice. Do you still want to interact with these people that betrayed you, or a person that betrayed you? Or are you going to say, you know what? Good luck to you. Peace out, Girl Scout. Deuces. I do not have time for that. And I wish you well. I forgive you, but go away. Okay? So, yeah, that's kind of, you have to think about what's going to happen if you forgive these kinds of people, and then you let them back in your life. If you think that one betrayal is going to be a one and done, Oh, I don't know. I have some swampland in Florida to sell you then. Okay. It's very unlikely that it would be a one-time oopsie doopsie and they're never going to betray you again. Okay. People's character is people's character is people's character, and people's integrity is the same. Okay. So if, for example, someone was betraying you by feeling upset that you walked away from them for being less than, well, just for being someone you no longer want to interact with. And they react by running around telling egregious lies and stories about you. What does that say about the character or integrity of that person that is mad that you just walked away from them and you did it peacefully and you just quietly left and you're like, okay, well, you know what? It's not working out as a friend, as anything. And, you know, good luck to you. God bless you. Go away. In a nice way. I say go away in a nice way. But anyway, what does that say about that person that can't accept that appropriately and then has to have a retaliation of epic proportions, which actually equals a giant tantrum of beyond epic proportions, and is then equal to punishing the nice person that was nice and peaceful and just simply walked away from nonsense? Think really hard. Okay? Do they have integrity, good character, good moral quality, honesty, ethics, kindness and care? I'm going to answer that for you. No, they don't. So stop giving people like that chances, okay? They show you one time, they can peace out, and they can be, you can politely away from afar, but, or don't at all. I don't know. Don't be fake, I guess. But they should be kind of, that should be a person that's exercised from your life for good. Okay. Some people that are very kind-hearted and empathetic and supremely forgiving and supremely tolerant based on maybe past trauma or past history of having to put up with unkind, ridiculous, or horrific behaviors growing up, sometimes tolerate more than they should. I used to be one of those, okay? I'm here to tell you, taking back a person that has betrayed you is a slow torture. Don't do it. They're not gonna change. It is very unlikely that they're gonna change. And if a person really is going to change, they put themselves in isolation and they work on themselves. They don't hop around, you know, gossiping, saying things, making up ridiculous fabrications. And, you know, remember I've told you in a different video, the person that's running around slandering, libeling, or just talking really bad about another person, i.e. gossip. Gossip is very harmful. Gossiping the most, that person is the person that is the problem child. Okay, always remember that. So gossip is, we'll jump into gossip. That's a betrayal in itself, right? So people that gossip don't have the common sense to A, not purport or spread the gossip, and B, they if they really cared about the person they were gossiping about, they wouldn't say anything to anybody else, right? They would go right to the person and say, hey, this is what I heard about you. And I know it's none of my business, but I just wanted you to know this is what was being said about you. And I thought you should know so you can handle this, right? That's what a good person with moral character and integrity would do. They would go right to the source and ask them. And the person they're asking could say, you know, I'm not saying a word because I just know that that's not true, but I don't need to explain myself, right? Because the people that don't run around having to defend or explain themselves, that's because they didn't do anything wrong, okay? Most of the time, right? The person that's silent and just saying it'll come out in the wash, that's one of my mother's favorite sayings that she used to say, and I say that a lot, which is the truth, meaning the truth, will always come out in the wash, right? So most of the time, the betrayers who are perpetrating the betrayal, they're the ones that are usually running around doing damage control in their minds by smearing the victim. Just remember that. And remember, gossip is harmful. Gossip is nasty. Gossip is degrading to the victim. Gossip is something that should be outlawed, okay? Gossip done in a malicious and organized fashion also can constitute legal charges. Did you know this? So remember that when you're opening your mouth and gossiping about people, if things are done in an organized fashion to defame, libel, slander, embarrass, humiliate, or harm somebody's reputation, interfere with their work, interfere with their friends and their family members, relationships, and other, that can be legal charges, and that can be criminal charges. Okay, legal, criminal, or civil is what I meant to say. Civil charges. People need to remember this. You better be speaking facts if you're talking about anybody else, is what I'm trying to tell you. Because these things are big deals. These are very big deals. In fact, it can be considered under the umbrella of an organized crime situation and something called, Google it, RICO, okay? It's a big deal. People running around smearing and lying and trying to trash someone's reputation and trying to ruin their work, trying to ruin their life, ruin their family life, basically isolate them to the point where they it's so malicious that they're hoping that someone will do something horrible to themselves. That's crime, right? That's crime. And gossip, technically, if you're lying about the person and you're saying things that are untrue, it's a crime. So just remember, how we interact, it matters. How we talk about other people, it matters. How we treat people, it matters. How we treat people that we like or we don't like matters. It all matters, okay? So just remember. And also, I would love it if anybody ever gossiped about me. And darn well know this, if someone's gossiping about you, I will go to you and I will say, listen, this is what this person over here said. Could be, I might say nitwit, but said, I want you to know that this is what's being said about you. And I would like you to, so that you can handle this, right? So that you can know and defend you don't have to defend yourself if you're not doing anything wrong. You don't have to, whatever. You can just know that this person is disloyal and a betrayer, okay? Now, if somebody did that to me, I would totally respect and appreciate someone saying, hey, Denise, by the way, someone said da 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 da. I'd be like, thank you so much for telling me that. And I will deal with that. So, people that gossip, remember, that is a huge betrayal. And a huge betrayal, especially by anybody that are family or friends, okay? Even if you think you are trying to do something nice behind the scenes or whatever, it's usually not. It's usually based more out of superiority and wanting some semblance of trying to feel above somebody else, okay? It's nasty. All right, so stop it, is what I'm trying to tell you, all right? Gossip is harmful. It's not innocent. It's not, without its consequence. It's also, and be careful of the people that go, oh, I'm so concerned. I hear women do this all the time, and it makes me want to vomit. They'll go up to another person and say, oh my gosh, I'm so concerned about so-and-so. And what that is an excuse to cover up negative action that they're committing against the person they're saying they're concerned about, okay? Don't listen to that concerned stuff, because if they were really concerned, think really, really hard. They would go to the person that they are supposedly concerned about, right? Right, okay. So, that's kind of the cut the crap statement, I would probably say, because it's covering up for pretty crappy behaviors. And it's time that we start addressing disingenuous, harmful, possibly, yep, can be to the point where it becomes criminal or civil, harmful behaviors that are huge betrayals, okay? So what do we do? To summarize, what do we do with people that are betrayers? Do we continue to let them hang out with us so that they can keep doing it? No. The answer is no, okay? So make new friends. Dump the guy that talks bad about you. If he talks bad in front of you, about you, badly to anyone around you, he's speaking even worse behind your back. So that's not the guy for you. If he's trying to embarrass you, humiliate you, or demean you in public in front of him, he's an insecure little boy and needs to go to the shrink. So that needs to be, cut that person off. If you're married to him, if you can, oof, yeah. You stay married to the guy like that, they will make you a shell of yourself. They'll make you a former shell of yourself. Okay? And they're trying to do that. And they're trying to siphon your energy so that they look like they're supreme and wonderful. And unfortunately, people fall for that nonsense all the time and think, oh, this guy, he has to put up with this poor woman or this less than stellar woman, when he's the one making her less than stellar in public and in private, and he's bad-mouthing her right in front of her. So just remember these things, okay? You also don't want your kids witnessing you get put down all the time in front of others. It's not going to help them respect you either. It's a terrible thing. So protect yourself. Document things, date, time, incident, what happened. Are there cars, people, different cars involved? Get their make, model, get their license plate number. Make sure you get the location. Do a thorough description of what occurred. Especially if it's repeat things. If it's one thing, you can let that go, right? I mean, if it's not a big deal and it's not completely lawsuit worthy kind of, gossip. If it's like, oh, she looks terrible in that outfit, well, whoopity, who cares? All right. But if it's something where it's pretty big stuff that it could interfere with your career, your livelihood, your family life, your relationships, if someone's trying to interfere in new relationships you may have, simply because they didn't like to hear the word no, and or they didn't like it that you walked away from them, well, that maybe triggered them. And, oh well, that triggering would be not your problem or my problem for that matter, and they need to go to the shrink and work on their triggers, right? Not everything is everybody else's fault. That goes along with that entitlement thing. Your feelings are not my issue, right? And that's what I want you to say to other people. Your feelings about whatever your problem is not my issue. Stop taking on other people's feelings as though they're yours to fix, because they're not, okay? This channel is about empowering people. This channel is about helping other people. It's also about setting limits and boundaries with people that need to have limits and boundaries set with them, because everybody knows a narcissist hates the word boundary. They hate people's boundaries, and they really, really hate the word no. If you think someone's a narcissist, say no, and say it often. You'll watch them flip out. You'll know that's a narcissist, okay? In life, we can't always hear yes. We just can't. That's not realistic, right? There's so many people on this planet that we all need to be A, mindful of our own stuff and stop talking about everybody else's, and B, we need to work on ourselves, and C, there's just too many people to sit and cater to, right? There just is. You have to work on yourselves. Now, it doesn't mean you ignore people going through hard times. No, you help other people that are going through hard times. The people, though, that are causing the hard times, no, let them fall on their ass so that they have to deal with their own consequences of the behaviors, the negative behaviors that they have been doing and portraying. So there's a difference. Helping good people that honestly could use some help, that's awesome. Helping and enabling bad behavior and people having giant, basically their tantrums, no, not so much. Don't do it. We all need to have boundaries, and we all need to set boundaries with people too. So enough already on this topic. Oof, hopefully I'll have a funner one. Yes, funner is a word. I just said it is. So we'll talk about something hopefully maybe a little lighter the next time. We'll see here. All right. So I want you to go out and make the world a better place. That means go help somebody without posting it and blasting it all over social media. Just do it for its Goodness, just do it for goodness sake, okay? That will help spread positivity. And no, it's not toxic positivity. It is positivity, okay? So make a donation to a charity, volunteer at a soup kitchen, go, pick up the junk in a ditch on on a county highway or something. Give people compliments, genuine ones. Don't be fake. I don't want to hear that stuff. So, yeah, stuff like that. So if no one has told you today, I will. You are wonderful. You are special. You are loved. God loves you, and I love you too.